That's 1010 Wins news coverage of what's going on with the situation in South Manhattan, the bombing of the World Trade Center. We're Ron and Fez on 102.7 WNEW.
877-692-1027. It is the Ron and Fez show. Nighttime again, Fezzy, in New York City.
Another day comes and goes. The nightmare continues.
Yeah, day 3 of the nightmare. President on his way to New York City tomorrow. I guess he's going to do a service of some type in Washington.
Right, he's going to go to a prayer service, a vigil.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as that's done, I guess he's coming to New York City.
And actually we'll be downtown tomorrow. I guess the mayor will be walking him through, pointing things out, shaking hands. Just a show of unity.
As he put it, he wants to shake hands and weep with the people in New York.
How do you feel about that weeping angle? I mean, I'm not saying everybody hasn't cried. I get a little nervous when I see the president crying, though.
Yeah, he actually got choked up today during his initial comments.
Yeah. And he
just quit talking and kind of bit his lip, and the chin started shaking.
And here's the weird thing. He wasn't talking about the victims, or he's talking about the cats he's going after.
Yeah.
When he was doing that.
I think he got welled up with patriotism.
Well, we will hear his plan, I'm guessing fairly soon, Fez. After watching the news today, checking out most of the different people who came in, Colin Powell.
He spoke. Donald Rumsfeld spoke again, I believe.
Yeah.
Secretary of Defense.
And I feel like, Dick Gebhardt, I thought was kind of interesting, of saying, hey, whatever the president needs, we'll sign whatever he needs. We want to make every tool available to him. And it seems like they've already discussed it. And I'm wondering what exactly that's going to be.
Right, and they keep talking about passing different resolutions.
What would those resolutions be?
To officially say, as the Congress, that the president is at his discretion to use what he feels he needs to do. I think everyone has said it, and I think the president can do that anyway. He needs Congress to declare war. But I think they're ready to just let him do what he needs to do, and this is just the officialness of it.
Well, what about this, Fez? The fact that he is kind of restrained from going after individuals, right?
Right, yeah, due to that executive order.
Do you think that this would be a chance to say, hey, we'll sign whatever it is. If you need to send a hit squad out there, if you want a team of assassins, you got it.
Right, when they keep saying we're going to get the president the tools he needs, right. I think they're specifically talking about that executive order that bans Americans from participating in assassination attempts.
So then I think to myself, okay, that's what they're going to do. And then somebody else will make something that sounds like we're going into a country and hitting it hard. What was the one phrase I heard today that was kind of stunning? I don't want to say wipe out, but it was something along those lines.
Of marching through.
Yeah. Something along those lines that made it seem like we're going to drop somebody. Or the other scary thing, not just one country.
Go in and sanitize a region.
Yeah. Maybe 3-4 countries that we've been having trouble with.
And whip everybody into shape.
So far it looks like the rest of the world is behind us on this, although at this point, I don't know how much we care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we do politically, but emotionally as a country, I don't see us asking for help.
Now, eventually that'll come and we'll see who's willing to help. Like today, as a England, when they did the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace, they played our national anthem.
Well, finally. That means they're finally coming around. 877-692-1027. We're going to do what we've been doing all week, and that's just opening the phone lines, letting people talk. I've got a couple of emails saying, would you guys please go back to doing a funny show? I don't feel funny yet, Fez.
No, it doesn't feel like it's time to be funny. You'll know when it's time to be funny.
Me, myself, I feel like I've been on this roller coaster of emotions, and I'm still waiting for seeing which way the president goes. And, different people are asking me, what do you think? What would you do? I'm like, hey, man, I'm not the cat. with any experience to be running this. I'm fully aware that we have a military, we have Colin Powell, we have George W. Bush and all his advisors. I'm fine with the fact that that's our team. You know, I would, on a personal level, I'm anxious about seeing what's going to come out of it, but other than that, it doesn't matter what Fez and I would do if we were president.
Right. You've all heard the Fez plan. We'll see if that's enacted.
The Fez plan. Very, very close to the McCain plan, who you had the chance to vote for and you didn't, Fez.
Get him. Get him.
Well, you know...
Operation Get Him.
McCain, as a guy who was a POW before Fez, and he knows how rough it can get out there.
And he knows he knows what it comes to, when he says lack of mercy.
Yeah, but
God have mercy on your soul, because we won't.
But here's a guy who, Dick Gebhardt, I'm looking at him today, Democrat. Him and Bush have never been friends on anything.
No,
He actually looks like he's stopping himself from being furious, from almost dropping the F-bomb. He looks so mad. Going, I'll give W anything he wants.
It makes you wonder, because if the president is saying, the president stayed very calm. There's been some complaints that he hasn't been forceful enough in his language. It makes you wonder, some of these other guys, with John McCain saying the things he's saying, as angry as Dick Gebhardt is, are they just the angry voice of the president? Are they saying the things that the president can't, for political reasons, say out loud?
Here's the situation.
Or doesn't feel it's his place yet to say out loud.
I don't think there's any political thing that could stop him. I've seen a couple things about the president going, why did he call them, what was the word that he called them?
Folks.
Folks, yeah. He said, we're going to get them folks, and that freaked out some people. I even saw some anti-stuff with that in the newspapers. Different people thought he should have got back to Washington sooner. A couple of people are a little queasy about him tearing up today. Is he up to it? He hesitates a little bit. Hey, he's our guy. We're not going to have another election. So, as far as I'm concerned.
Whether he's up to it or not, he's the one who's going to be doing it.
And people are saying to me, do you trust Bush? I'm going to, a lot more than those people that ran into our city. I feel, they're going, well, don't you think some of the Arabs have I'm like, hey, where I'm at right now, I feel closer to Charlie Manson than I do to some of those guys crawling around in the mud over there.
Well, as we go day by day, and it's just another day of the nonstop news coverage on television. It's nonstop of, nobody's world is normal. It's another nonstop day of feeling weird. That's where the frustration comes in, where no one's been brought to justice immediately. Yeah. So now everyone's going to look at the little things. Like President Bush saying, folks.
Yeah.
And someone tearing up, and someone using more forceful language. Oh, this is going to get analyzed to no end until
he makes his
done.
move. Yeah. Because everybody's looking for that big presidential move, and what he's saying is probably, I haven't made it yet.
Everyone's looking for someone to give up the poker face.
Yeah.
And see what happens next.
Well, no one, up to this point, no one's actually thought Bush had a poker face. That's what's actually making some people nervous that he's not poker faced. But the thing is, we've been looking for that big kind of Roosevelt move. I'm going to, at this point, just assume, man, my guys know what they're doing. They've got something planned. And off we go. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Fuzzy. I'm nervous about how big it'll get. What's next? My focus right now is just really on New York. That's where I kind of feel like, my city got bombed. I'd rather be thinking about that.
Sure.
Than what the military's going to do and just trust those guys.
Well, there's going to be, once that happens, once the military operation's underway, there's going to be plenty of time to think about that. And it's going to find out is it against individuals? Is it against the country? Is it against the whole region? Does it involve an entire area of the world?
Wow. 877-692-1027. All right, now, Fezzi and I'll shut up a little bit and let you guys talk.
Not that we don't talk about this all day before we get in here.
It's exactly the same way we talk on the phone to each other all day. You watching us? This is good.
What do you think Paul means by that?
I don't know, Fez. Here's Fred. Fred, you're on with Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fred.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Fred.
Hi, Ron. Is this Ron or Fez?
It's both of us.
It's both of you. Guys, I really don't listen to you. This is the first time I listen.
Well,
and I just had these horrible thoughts. It's such a grim situation. And my thoughts are even grimmer. I'm wondering about. I don't even know if I want to talk about this with you guys. It's so horrible.
Well, you don't have to, Fred.
Well, I'm wondering about how long we have before we have to actually stop looking for live people. I haven't heard anybody talking about that, and when we have to cut things off and really attempt to get to the mass of bodies that are going to be in there. You know what I'm saying?
Fred, the people that are down there right now are experts, and I heard the fire chief speaking today that says he is still on a rescue mission.
Right.
This is still a rescue and not recovery, not retrieval. But he says, Fred, listen to me, because you asked a question, I'm going to answer it for you because I saw him do it. Mm-hmm. He will keep going until he gets every single body.
Right, but there's going to come a point at which we have to be concerned about the effect of all those bodies in that structure.
Yeah.
And what kind of long-term or immediate effect they can have on the health of the city.
Right. Well, the people that you have there doing this, Fred, are the biggest experts in the world.
Right.
So you don't have to be concerned about it.
The reason I hesitate to even talk about this because I don't want to sound callous or that I don't care about finding people. But if it took 7 years to build these buildings, how long will it take us to remove the rubble? And I heard two numbers today. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I don't know these numbers yet, so go ahead.
All right. One was that there were an estimated 500,000 tons of rubble.
Yeah.
Is that too much?
I have no idea.
You haven't heard that?
Yeah.
Another number was that we've moved 6,000 tons so far.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to come a point where we just may not have enough time to negate any effect.
I understand what you're saying, Fred, but at this point, the experts are on the job, okay?
Right.
All right, thanks for calling.
It's a lot of questions and really no answers.
What's that?
It's a lot of questions and really no answers.
Yes,
that's true.
This is a situation
that we may. I'm sorry, I'm breaking up.
We've never been in this situation before. Okay,
that's my fear. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's almost an apocalyptic view.
That's a huge leap.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what we're going to find under there. We don't know what came in those jets with those guys.
All right, thanks for calling, Fred.
Is it too deep for you?
No, it's not too deep, but you made your point.
It's just too grim, is it not?
No, Fred, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really based on anything. It's really based on what I've been hearing in the media for the last few days.
All right, thank you for calling, Fred. There he goes. There goes Fred.
Okay.
It's first time. He's never listened to us before.
Right.
Never called us, and that's it. It's too deep.
And then he picked tonight to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. 877-692-1027.
Here's Sean. Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I'm originally from Texas, and we always poo-poo New Yorkers because they don't take care of each other, and I just want to apologize to the people in New York, man, for having that attitude. Because, you look around what's happening now, and it's freaking amazing.
You want to apologize for having the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not, come on now. Plus, I know how we can get back at these people. We can send Fez after them.
All right, Sean, thanks.
All right.
Take care, Sean.
877-692-1027. Here's Adrian. Adrian, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Yeah.
What can we do for you tonight, dear?
I just wanted to put out some more volunteer information.
Okay.
Besides calls for, medical personnel, the Red Cross is in desperate need of mental health professionals. So if there's anyone out there listening that's a psychologist, social worker, therapist, they can call the Red Cross, or they could just call their local hospitals and hook up with volunteer teams that are going down there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, honey.
We'll put that word out. It's amazing in the donation area and the volunteer area how there's actually a surplus. That is incredible. What other disaster do you see that anywhere else around the country?
Here is Rich. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Rich.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey.
My brother was lost. His name is Ryan Sims, S-I-M-M-S.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the 106th floor.
Yes.
The company's name is Bagasat, B-A-G-A-S-T.
Okay.
Okay. We're still looking. Everybody's still looking for him. We didn't hear nothing. He went to work that morning. We didn't hear nothing. Nothing at all. You call us at this number, 718-586-0194. Please call us if you hear anything.
Rich, thanks so much, my friend. If we hear anything at all, we'll give you a call.
Thank you.
All right, our prayers are with you, buddy.
Bye.
All right,
Take care. God bless.
877-692-1027. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. How you doing? First of all, I know it doesn't mean much maybe to you, but to us it means a lot that you're there doing what you're doing. I mean, I woke up today and I wasn't ready to go back to my normal routine, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So, like the last caller just said, today seems to be that day where it's a lot more people have been a lot more focused on trying to find out what's going on with the people that have been lost. I mean, it's either they're dead, they're alive, or they're in between limbo, and that's the most hell that they can possibly be in. And I feel so bad for those people. I mean, this is the heartbreaking part of this that you knew was going to come in the next couple of days, and it's going to continue, unfortunately. Again, if there's anything anybody could do, you just make sure you go out there and you do it. The one point I wanted to make that Ronnie brought up about the president was, as far as watching that speech today, with him tearing up a little bit at the end. It came on the tail end. He had already talked to Pataki and to Giuliani on a conference call. It was and that was a great conversation because it was a much more lively Bush. It was much more, somebody you wanted to see having like a normal conversation. Then they sort of took some questions from the press, and he sort of got a little upset at a couple of questions because they kept badgering him. And when his eyes teared up, it was sort of that mad, you know how you get so mad sometimes you get tears in your eyes? You're so concentrated on doing something. I think he had that fire, you wanted to say that. I think that we've all had at one point or another. And I was happy to see that actually today. And he's like, you want the guy to get to work. And I have all the faith in the world in a higher power. And now I have all the faith in the world in the highest order of this country, too.
Chris, I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw that part of it, and I just got more emails about people upset or worried. But, I do kind of feel like he's sitting on his plan right now. I think that's why he's coming to New York tomorrow for this day of prayer or whatever. And to go back a couple of phone calls with the last guy, the first call we took of the night was going, what if, and can you deal, and what if there was something in there? Like, well, you know what? One thing that we have learned more than anything else is that we are not safe. We thought we lived with a certain feeling of safety of growing up in this country. I remember being a little kid during the Vietnam War, and then I was older during the Gulf War or whatever. It always seemed far away, and you were worried for those people. This time, they attacked our city. We literally were at ground zero. And it may happen again. That's why the president is saying over and over, we're at war. He's not saying this won't happen again.
That's an excellent point. And, I mean, just to reiterate, not get off the air right now, but to think that you guys don't make that connection with the fans, I mean, you obviously do. And it's, if you want to say safe harbor to know that we can always turn this radio on and have the station on at, ends with you doing your shift tonight. And I know the other night you guys went long, and you know what? I have the TV on for the last 3.5 days straight, and it's been, muted for some times. I had the volume on off. I've always had the radio on, knowing that when I needed to, I could put it on, and I could listen to somebody who I consider friends that I've never met before.
Right.
And you don't know how much that means to us.
Well, we all talked this over with our boss, Jeremy Coleman, and O&A talked to him, and Donna Mike, and the sports guys, and there's not much, I don't think anybody in here really considers themselves a journalist, and we're not saying that this is your place to get news, but we do have somewhat of a relationship with each other, and all we're trying to do is just use this as a place to meet and talk.
Oh, and that's exactly what you're doing. I mean, last night after work, I went back to work yesterday for the first time because I took Tuesday off, and at the end of the night, a bunch of us went out to a bar, which a bunch of guys who we've never been out together socially in any circle whatsoever in 7 years. I had about 5 or 6 drinks and just did exactly this, talked, listened, shook our heads in amazement. But we talked and we listened and we made some sort of connection, and we sort of just trying to understand a little bit better as far as something that's possibly something that we can never, ever understand completely.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, bye.
God bless.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do here. We talk to people for a living. We talk to New York.
One of the things that keeps amazing me, because this feels like such a local story, is the whole country and the whole world basically seems and feels the same way. I mean, just because all of us can see the smoke, you know, from our houses or driving to work or whatever, it doesn't mean that we're the only ones feeling that.
Yeah, I get calls from the fam every day, and they keep telling me how people seem to be walking around in slow motion, even in Florida. You know, in that dazed look that we see on the streets of Manhattan for the past 2 days. And of course there, it's just the American flag is now everywhere. God bless America on every marquee as you ride down the main thoroughfares. And yeah, people are feeling it everywhere.
877-692-1027. Here's, Ben. Ben, you're on Ron FS.
Hello, Ben.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Rough days, huh?
Yeah. These are rough days.
Yeah. I work for a small ISP up in Westchester.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, we've been dealing with some phone line troubles. You know, Tuesday night, when they closed the power down, it took out all of our dial-up customers. And Wednesday morning, I come in to hear some customers, or one customer, I should say, just called in asking for a refund because I lost the service. I was like, do you know what's going on?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And just some customers with disregard. A customer called me today, 2 days after, saying, I appreciate the problem that you had yesterday, but I'm going to have to cancel service because I need to be with somebody that I can depend on to get my email and stuff like that.
Right.
And you feel it in your heart when you listen to the person talk. But, you know, I just say, all right, sir, you know, we'll cancel service, go away.
Right.
And one other story that really hit me was one of our customers is a kind of like he helps brokers online type thing.
Sure.
And one of his customers called him and said, listen, I can't get to the server. What's the problem? And he goes, sir, the server was in the World Trade Center. And his response was, that's not my problem. What are you going to do about that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so this is what we're dealing with in the business world. It's just hurts you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, Ben, you know, you've probably seen those guys before this thing. You know what kind of people they were. But I agree with you, man. You know, I think, and I don't doubt that everybody has woken up to this. It's, and our lives may change forever. Our lives may absolutely change forever, and that's one thing to say and another to live it, because we don't know. This is maybe one of those things that, you know, we drop a couple of bombs and, you know, before we know it, we're all watching the new Survivor and checking out baseball. Or we may be in a long war. We don't know. That's up to the president and his advisors right now.
Yeah.
And then people that are doing business in this country are going to have to think, what comes first?
Yeah, it's going to be a situation. Everyone's going to end up doing business a different way for quite a while.
Yeah.
We talk about the airports and the airlines, how you're going to have to add 3 hours to get into the airport in time for your flight. Mm-hmm. And people are going to get frustrated with that so quick. So, but there is no reason why people can't be a little patient.
Patience, one thing, and just understanding.
Right, yeah.
I mean, my boss' response, Chris, is he was almost in tears because I arrived late Wednesday morning because I go over the Tappan Zee Bridge. Mm-hmm. And I go in there, and he has almost tears in his eyes. I go, what's wrong? He goes, I told the customer to F off. I was, you know, looking for a refund. Do you understand what happened, sir? Yeah, I do. Do you know anybody who died? Yeah, I do. Well, think of them. Don't think of precious service. And talk about business going on. I mean, I'm not plugging or anything like that, but, you know, WWF's going ahead with their event tonight, and just to, they say it's going to be a tribute, but I don't know what kind of tribute it's going to be. NFL, they're off.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I saw that. I was kind of just going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I wouldn't have done it myself.
No.
But we'll see what happens. You know what they do.
I don't know. I hear that
they kept the show going after Owen fell. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No kidding.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Ben, and best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And you know, you got to believe everything's going to work out. Okay, man.
I hope tomorrow we have some people that are still understanding. I say, you know, for the businesses out there and the internet and those kind of things, you know, you're going to have to give it a week.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, and,
we know that, man.
you know, try not to lose your patience in light of everyone else's that you're talking to, the frustrated customers. Right now it's a time of frustration, confusion, and anger, and it's going to find a lot of different little outlets.
Yeah.
And things that don't even have to deal with actual being mad at terrorists.
Oh, you know what I try to do?
People start snapping at each other.
Yeah, exactly. I try to take those customers away from my boss and away from everybody else. That way I can handle them. And not so I can yell at them, but just so when I talk to them, they don't understand, you know, my anger towards them or anything like that. They just think everything is fine and cool.
Yeah, why don't you just say this? Say, hey, man, are you an American?
Yeah, one of those.
There you go.
Seriously, are you an American?
I like that.
Yeah, that would work.
All right, Ben.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
And that'll make them think twice.
877-692-1027. Here's Dana. Dana, you were on Ron and Fez.
Hello, Dana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, dear. You're on the air.
Yes, hi. I'd like to thank all our firemen and policemen who are out there doing good work, but I'd like to also not to forget the construction workers and sanitation men who are also out there doing, you know, hard work to help our country.
You know, I had a chance to see, I guess it was the fire chief speaking today, I'm not exactly sure, and talking about the iron workers who are down there and helping with this rubble and doing this piece by piece, and he was tearing up, Fez.
Yeah.
And
the union guys have come out in full force.
I had not thought about all those union guys that are going down there and so many different things, and it's just amazing. And I don't know whose nickel they're on. I mean, at least the firefighters and the cops we know are being taken care of. I don't know who's taking care of those guys, but I sure hope they are. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have
God
been
bless
able.
everybody.
Yeah, God bless you, honey.
Take care,
you.
Dana.
Bye-bye.
They wouldn't have been able to move what they've moved so far without those union guys down there, the welders down there cutting through everything.
Yeah.
And you see, taking out whole cars at a time, just crushed cars, one on top of the other. I mean, this is a city at work.
I didn't get a chance to talk to Hard Rock Johnny today. I know we were plugging him on the air last night about people, bring Alan, about people helping out with either food and clothing. And what else was he looking for, Fez?
Yeah, it was basically socks and shoes and a change of clothes for the relief workers.
How's that working out, Al?
Actually, he got a great response. He's still going to be doing it tonight also. He's gonna give us a buzz in a little bit.
All right,
okay.
Good. It's good to hear.
Yeah, he took some donations last night before the restaurant closed, and then he started again at 8 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, and he said as soon as he got on the air and requested something, it showed up at the door.
Well, we'll try to keep that going because it's going to go on for a while. It looks like George Bush said to the mayor and governor today, Fezzi, whatever you need to from the federal government.
Yeah. So that's being passed along.
We should probably talk to some people around the country, just see what kind of stuff that they're getting, what the TV is like and everything. Because so much of our stuff is just the local stations. And I mean, I know that the nationals are covering it, but it seems like the locals will pull that right away here in New York. You know, I haven't seen all the stuff.
Yeah, and when you're right here in the center of it, when you're in Manhattan, it's like, in New York City, it's like, oh my gosh, we're in this closed-off little world of terror, of just this tragedy. And you forget about the outside world and that they're feeling it too.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Tom.
Tommy, you're on Ron and Fez. Oops, there he goes. Here's Chris. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
I just got one thing I'd like to say. I was at work a little while ago, and just to be honest with you, I'm not going to doubt it, but I want to think the best for this family and all the other families is that one of my friends at work, her best friend works for the Nextel cell phone company at customer service, and she received a phone call from a woman who says she's alive, okay, with 6 or 7 other people, okay, and she said that they were on the 90th floor when the building was collapsing, okay, and she said that she wanted her to please call her husband and to let her know that, you know, she loves her and she loves the family. I'm not sure exactly what number of people that she said was alive. It was either 6 or 7, but she also said that there was one guy that they were by that was stuck under concrete. He couldn't move, but he is alive at this time.
Uh-huh.
like I said, I really don't want to doubt it because since it happened, they've been pulling people out alive, like the 3 firemen they pulled out today in SUV. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say, you know, she called the news, and she also called a radio station, but I wanted to call this station just to add it to one more, just in case if, you know, maybe one of those family relatives are listening.
Sure.
You know, and just to get the word out. You know, I don't know any information, but I just wanted to say and just hoping for the best.
Thank you,
maybe
Chris.
There is hope that they could save 7 more lives, you know, if they're alive right now.
Yeah. Thank you for calling, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
I know about 4 o'clock today, the police started having reports of a woman tapping in the wreckage of the South Tower.
Yeah.
Underneath the wreckage. They kept saying it was a woman. I think they were able to hear her voice or something, but they had also picked up the tapping in the wreckage.
Oh, jeez.
So, and that was also a situation where they got nervous about one of the other buildings becoming unsafe, one of the ones that are still standing there, and they actually had to get out of the scene for a little bit.
Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hi, John.
My wife and I, we both work for New York City EMS. We came in Tuesday morning off duty from Jersey. We drove from Central Jersey to the Battery Tunnel in half an hour somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
We kind of had to get separated because I had to go up front. She's a supervisor. She took command over there. And I jumped on a bus into the tunnel. And when we got to the scene, it was hell. Something I've ever seen like a war movie. I mean, we got up to West Street, and there was just ambulances flying. I saw a friend of mine's ambulance that was flying. I found out he got out okay. Another friend of mine, his ambulance was fine, and I found out last night they found his body.
Oh, my God.
You know, on top of everybody, you know, people inside the building, EMS workers and firemen and cops were missing. I just, you know, I want to ask the people to give prayers out for everybody. I want to thank the people. You know, we sat there. We had no equipment. We went to these ambulances and that were burnt out and flipped over, and fire trucks, and we stole equipment from them that we needed to treat guys because we had nothing with us.
Mm-hmm.
People need to see that this was a war scene. You know, this is as close as anything. I hope that I don't get any closer to a war scene that we got today. I mean Tuesday. The people who volunteered, who came out of their homes, brought us Gatorade, brought us food. The Gatorade we used to hydrate the firemen to go back inside because they were just, you know, coming out completely sickened from being out there all day. The food that kept us going throughout the days. The people who opened up their stores to us and told us, take whatever you need. These are the people who are also true heroes. You're going to hear about the firemen, you're going to hear about the medics and the cops and the iron workers, but there's people coming down and just literally giving you the shirt off their back. I want to thank them. I'm just, you know, taking care of a little eye injury I got from that day, and I'll be back. I'll be back Saturday, and hopefully. And, you know, it's going to be a long haul.
Yeah.
And whatever Bush decides to do, take his time. Get a plan set. I don't want, you know, no knee-jerk reaction here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want him to take care of things the way it has to be taken care of. I also want to thank you guys, O&A, everybody, because you bring some kind of normalcy back. You know, we look at each other. I sat on my helmet and looked at my wife and said, how are we going to go back? You know, how are we going to start going again? You guys, even though it's not your quote-unquote regular show, you guys are there.
Yeah.
You guys, something there that wasn't there the other day for us. And keep up the good work.
All right, John.
And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for the call, John. And it's stories like that with the store owners opening that up and giving out things and taking care of the rescue workers. It gives you a little bit of hope in a situation that can look so hopeless. That maybe there's still some humanity, at least here in New York City, even if those terrorists didn't show us any.
877-692-1027. Here's Joe. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, hi. How you doing, guys?
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, no, it was just my concerns were I got a call from a relative that with the EMS there, and she was saying that like a group of 5 EMS workers just had part of the facade fall on them and get killed. And I don't think number one, all the news is coming out that should be, and number 2, I don't think they're taking enough safeguarding measures that they're putting. Really putting these people in harm's way, very much so. And I don't think they're taking the proper precautions. You know, it's great. There's a job. They're going in there to save people, to dig people out. But just don't, you know, have their lives ended arbitrarily, you know, and I just, you know, I just think that not everything is coming out.
Joe, it's going to take a long, long time, years, before we figure out where we are, you know, and the last caller talked about, you know, how do we get back to normal? I guess, you know, as a city, as a country, that is our eventual goal, that we can get back to doing this stuff. I mean, I want to hear, you know, lesbians in a swimming pool when I turn on ONA. That's what, you know what I mean? I want I don't know when that'll ever happen, but I think, you know, you know, I want to turn on my radio and hear Anthony being a nut.
Right. And don't we have like Army Corps of Engineers and like special forces that climb up sheer cliffs and people that are really used to this kind of stuff? Your emergency workers aren't really geared for digging out and stuff like that. And I just have a feeling that, you know, we're not doing all that we can. We're not using all the resources that we can to help out. I mean, they're working 24 hours on, 24 hours off. Like that's got to be insane.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be some other help somewhere in this country that you can't.
Well, I mean, there are people coming in, and I just really feel that the people that we have running this, Fezzy, are the best people in the world at this. And I just feel like it's risky no matter how we do this whole situation.
Yeah,
we got buildings ready to spill.
We got great people in New York handling this. The president will be here tomorrow. He's promising whatever we need. And there's also a situation, too, where if there's help coming in, they got to drive here.
Right. Okay, guys, well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, my friend.
Always a supporter of you guys.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
That's it.
877-692-1027 is the toll-free phone number. We got the phone lines open up for you guys tonight.
All right, the airports, Fezzy, are shut down again, closed to incoming flights due to FBI activity. The NYPD commissioner has said that a man carrying false pilot identification was arrested at the airport. The man attempted to get past security with the false identification and was stopped. So the airports, which we've been trying to open up for the last couple of days, stopped. Also, I want to point this out, Fez, that if you are caught calling in some false bomb scare, you can get up to 10 years. It's not a joke. It's not a game to play. There have been bomb scares going all around for the last few days, not even just in this city, all over the country. I don't know whether it's pranks, whether it's people that think, you know, I need an extra day off work. You can get up to 10 years for this. And they're not playing games with you right now, folks.
No, that's for sure. So don't test anyone on what they're willing to do to keep people safe.
Hey, we're talking about Hard Rock Johnny today, Fezzy. Johnny from the Hard Rock Cafe right across the street from us on 57th Street.
Between 7th and Broadway. He did a fundraiser where he's collecting clothes to take down to the relief workers to give them a change of outfits.
Food, everything. Johnny, how are you, buddy? It's good to talk to you.
Hey, Johnny.
Hard Rock
guys.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Good.
We're hanging in there. How'd everything go with you today?
I got to tell you, I might ramble a bit.
Okay.
And I might get a little emotional, but it's been a day that I can't even describe. I think first I got to just say your station, top to bottom, everybody has helped us. We ended up today not only with more clothes than we know what to do with at this point, but we really know, but there's just and there's been an outpouring. We got calls. I went on the Sports Guys this morning and said we needed some volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
We received probably 300 to 400 calls.
Great.
We started making sandwiches. Sorry, Fed, I don't have any left over.
I'm starving.
Now I'm starving too. Don't worry. We ended up making close to 4,000 sandwiches, but at one point we ran out of bread. I went over. I called into the Sports Guys. We said we ran out of bread. People showed up. 2 women from New Jersey drove in with a car full of bread. They left their office to come and bring it in. We delivered close to 4,000 sandwiches today to the police to the canteen down at the Javits Center. We were everywhere. A second bus then went down. We have to thank the Sheriff's Department and the NYPD. They gave us a full police escort everywhere in the city. We ended up going all the way down to, inside Ground Zero, and we had people physically handing firefighters as they were coming out.
Wow.
Sandwiches, drinks. I can't tell you. We had a car from guys from Union, New Jersey, I think it was, show up with a big pickup truck full of water and Gatorade. It's just unbelievable. We've had people donating. Someone dropped off 1,500 pounds of ham for sandwiches. It goes beyond what anybody can think of what people are doing. We're getting calls from California, and we owe it all to what you guys are letting us do through you. And we can't thank you enough for it. And we are going to continue. Tomorrow our goal is 10,000 sandwiches to get out there. We're going to continue our efforts through tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. If anyone wants to volunteer tomorrow, I think we're pretty full of volunteers. But Saturday, Sunday, we're doing this thing until, unfortunately, it's not going to end on Sunday. It's not going to, but we feel strongly that this is what we can do. I'm not a surgeon, and I can't, fix someone who's broken. I'm not an EMT who can help. I'm not an iron worker. I'm a guy who makes hamburgers and sandwiches, and that's what we can do, and that's what we all have to do. People are just coming by with socks, shoes. I had a call from a guy, and I didn't even know that they did this. He said he's coming up with 2,000 pounds of work boots. I always thought they were in pairs, never in pounds, but he had a dump truck full of work boots, and we directed him to the Salvation Army, and this is what they need, and people are out there. So, if anyone wants to bring anything, that's where we are. We're on 57th Street. We're like I've said before on other shows, we're not looking to make a buck to help. We just want to help.
You got a phone number for people that maybe can come help you over the weekend?
212-489-6565 is our phone number. There'll be people manning those phones. We'll probably be open until about 10 o'clock tonight. I myself will be back in there at about 5:30 in the morning, slicing meat and getting ready to make 8,000 to 10,000 sandwiches tomorrow. And if anyone wants to donate anything, food product, whatever it is, we're getting it out to where we need it. We have some great partners in Gray Line who's providing the buses that are getting us to where we need to go. And
that's great.
And again, I can't thank everybody enough. And I spoke to everyone at your station today, and every show up and down the timelines was unbelievable. I even had a chance to speak to Jeremy and Ken Stevens and thank them personally. And, we couldn't do what we're doing without WNEW.
All right, so it's 212-489-6565. If you got even some extra food and stuff like that, these guys can turn it into a meal.
Yep, we're doing what we can. People are just calling, and people want to help, and you guys are you're letting people help, you're letting people vent, and you're helping the situation, whether you say, no, we're not, whatever it is, you guys are helping. You are an integral part of what's making everything go right now in this time where everything's really going wrong.
Thank you, Johnny. Hard Rock Johnny. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Right.
Good work, pal. From
the Hard Rock Cafe on 57th Street. Here's the phone number. A lot of people going, geez, I wish there was something to do. I was turning around the channel today, and I've seen different people that are getting involved with some of the food stuff just to be part of it. Not everybody can be out there on that front line.
Right.
But you got to keep those guys going.
Yeah, not everyone's going to be able to move girders, so people that feel they need to do something, there's a good place.
Also, for a reason, I guess because the dust and dirt and everything that they're going through, shoes and socks pretty quickly, as well as clothes. 212-489-6565 if you can help those folks at all from the Hard Rock Cafe. Basically doing the same thing we're doing, Fez. He's just throwing that number out there. Maybe you know somebody that has a bunch of cheese, has a bunch of bread, has some ham, has some bologna, whatever they can use to make sandwiches.
So they took 4,000 down to Ground Zero today. They want to keep up their efforts. If you want to help them, that number again, 212-489-6565.
Hey, David. David, you're on Ron Fez.
Hi, David.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy, you're on.
Fabulous job, you know that?
Thank you.
I just want to say, you think about how this country's come together. I mean, we're always divisive, we're always divided in terms of our opinions. And look how everybody's come together at this time of need. And I think that these terrorists thought that, we would still be divided after this. They didn't realize that this country's going to come together the way it did.
Yeah, that's the only way that we can give them enough fuel, I think, right now, is to actually turn this thing around and to live better than we ever did before in the past. Make this a greater city than it's ever been.
Yeah, I always think back to the Churchill comment when he said, "This will be our finest hour."
There it is, my friend.
Yep. And a lot of people are rising to the occasion.
New York forever, my friend. 877-692-1027. Do I get somebody on the hotline there, Al, that you want me to go to, or can I go to these other calls? Or can you not hear me? All right.
Okay.
Hi, Sherry. You're on Ron and Fez. Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What can we do for you?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody was...
You're on the air with us right now.
Okay. I guess...
Yeah. Do you have something that you wanted to pitch?
No.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold, and Al's going to talk to you, okay?
Okay.
And try to work out.
Okay.
Supposedly she's collecting something.
Yeah,
She's
she
on
was
the
starting.
hotline.
Yeah, she was starting some sort of collection and taking donations according to what's written on the screen here.
But how'd she get the hotline number if she didn't want to go on the air and know what she's doing?
Did you want to discuss something? No.
No, not at all.
No.
I'm watching TV at home.
I just call radio station hotlines for kicks.
I can't tell you how I got the number. Dennis, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez, how you guys doing?
Hey.
You guys, first off, I got a few things I got to address. First off, you guys, about the call that said that you guys need to be more funny or whatever else, go back to being funny. You guys need to do what you guys need to do and be funny what you feel being funny. This is a public service, what you guys are doing right now. And this is necessary for this city and for this country, what you guys are doing. You guys are doing a superb job.
I tell you, I mean, one day I want to go back and do our show. I want to hear O&A doing their show.
Only can do time.
I want the sports guys ignoring the big sports news of the day.
Sure, doing what they do, Ronnie.
Yes, I want everything to go back. And I'm trying to remember what life was like before then. Right now we're going to get through this.
Yeah.
And Fez, I'm just,
The weird thing, Dennis, is not knowing when is that moment going to be appropriate. When is it going to feel right inside to do that? So far, about the only funny thing we did was earlier in the day we pantsed Earl. And that was about it.
Yeah. And he was
you guys will know when it's time to be funny. When you feel the time to be funny, that's when it's time to be funny.
And I'm sure, I'm sure everybody must feel that way when they go to their job, right?
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't imagine going to the job.
I work in the city, and exactly what everybody's saying, that everybody's walking around like a zombie, nobody's laughing, nobody's having a good time. It's exactly what's going on. Not to dwell too much on it, I was walking down Fifth Avenue when I saw the first plane go by. It went by, right over the roofs of all the buildings, right down Fifth Avenue, curving west. When I went up to the building where I was doing work, that's when they came and said, "Did you hear what happened?" And I just saw it go by. Unbelievable. Right. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm nauseated.
And you were thinking that was an accident at that time?
I thought it was just a plane that was just kind of off course or something, maybe a little lost. I didn't know what I was thinking, but it was just, when I found out, I was just ill, just nauseated by the whole thing.
Yeah.
Disturbed. But, God bless all of the firefighters, EMS, the police. The list goes on and on. Pictures of people, tenants of the buildings going down the stairs and just rows and rows of firemen going the opposite way, going up. It's just, it's an unbelievable service, and I don't know how we're ever going to be able to repay them.
I don't know either. And there is a little firehouse down the street from here, Fezzi, that I go by all the time near my daughter's school. Supposedly they got 14 guys missing.
Oh, my
and
God.
It's just breaking my heart. Over Roosevelt Island, where they're doing EMS training, I heard about a huge amount of those guys that are missing, guys that I would see all the time in the neighborhood around. And I'm just so totally shocked and stunned. One moment I'm numb, the next moment I'm overly emotional, the next moment I'm trying to shake my head whether it really happened. And it's been going on for days. And sometimes I look over at Fez and think, have we ever gone here since that first night we came in here?
Yeah.
You know, everything, nothing quite feels real at all in your life yet.
Exactly, and Hard Rock Johnny is doing an amazing job, an amazing service, what they're doing over there.
And you know what the other cool thing about what Hard Rock Johnny is doing is like sharing it with as many people as can get it, saying to other caterers or whoever, come on and join us and we'll all, you know, I got the buses, we'll just run it down, not trying to get, you know, make money or get fame out of this thing, but just feed those guys who are downtown.
And just knowing that, you know, the service of actually letting people help. How helpful that is. How that makes people just able to do something.
Yeah, something.
I mean,
that's the
come
best
the
word.
weekend, I mean, I've got a van, and you know, come Saturday, unfortunately, I do have to work until Friday. But after that, I want to go down and help with services. If it's carting, you know, workers back and forth, or trucks for Hard Rock Johnny, you know, sandwiches, whatnot, anything. Oh, I just have to do something. I knew too many people in 1 and 2 World Trade Center, obviously the towers, and I knew a tremendous amount of people in 7. I know most people got out of 7, but still, it's just the point that just the carnage. It's pathetic. The best analogy that I can come up with is it's like an amputation. It's like an actual amputation. I drove across the 59th Street Bridge on Tuesday, and I was stuck in the city, so I saw hours and hours of footage of it going down, and you knew it happened. In your head, it was still there. But when I went across the 59th Street Bridge, and I look over to my right, and even though I knew they were gone, I still expected to see them, and it was just a shock and a chill that went right through me because they were just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone. It's just like if you had your arm amputated. I mean, for years, you know, people get phantom pains, like, you know, their fingers are itching, but their arm is gone.
Yeah.
And they'll look down, and they're just in shock. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, don't you? I still keep looking for it, man. I still keep looking for it.
All day long, the past couple of days, I still look down and thinking, okay, maybe how's David Blaine going to bring them back now?
Yeah.
It's got to be some kind of magic trick. It can't be for real. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense.
Thank you, Dennis.
No problem, boys.
All right, see ya.
Thanks for the call. You got something you need to say, 877-692-1027. We're going to do it like we've done it the past 2 nights.
How you doing, guys?
Here's Chris. How you doing, buddy?
You know, it's a mess.
Yeah.
First thing I want to say is I would like to get the number from Johnny Hard Rock. If I can extend my services from my restaurant in any way, I would love to.
Right.
I lost my, well, I guess you would say in the last year, ex-brother-in-law. My sister divorced him a year ago. He was a Morgan Stanley guy, now defunct. And that's real hard, you know, just customers and clientele I lost through my own business over here.
Sure.
It's rough, man. We really took a big hit over here. And I guess, you know, you would say we're somewhat suburbia. But a lot of these people were traders and brokers.
Sure.
And international secretaries and, you know, you name it. And it's just, I never felt this way in my life. I'm 32 years old. You know, I was alive, but I wasn't of the accountability or the memory to remember Vietnam, and it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. But I can tell you from the Bronx, if I'm reporting from the North Bronx, that there's an outpouring of people, and black, white, Hispanic, everybody. We're all, you know, in unison, and it's nice to see that. Unfortunately, this is what it's taken, but it's nice that we're all together as Americans. And
yep, it's an outpouring of Americans and New Yorkers.
You know, Fez, I know I probably sound shaky, my voice, and I am
we all
shaky.
do, bro. We're all
I am shaky, and I'm concerned, and I don't know. I mean, there's a million things I want to talk to you about. I know you got a show to do, but you know, are we giving these people too many times to protect themselves? Are we giving them too much time to dig in and barricade? I don't know. I don't know that either. And my thing so far has just been,
I got to put my trust in the guys behind there that are experts. And the reason why it took me a couple of days until I actually I think yesterday bitching to Fezzy a little bit of what are we doing? When are we going to do something? So finally I thought, that's not my call. I'm out of control here. What can I do?
Ronnie, you remember the days of bats and knives and
sure,
and you couldn't wait till the next day to go throw dukes, and it's so much more than that, and I just don't know how to feel. I just don't know how to...
you're doing the right thing by just taking what you got. You're a caterer, if you can help out. Here's the number, okay, Chris?
Thanks.